Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Saturday, June 16th, 2018. Somewhat overcast day, some sun, some clouds, but for the most part it's been a very decent day. We won't mention what that is, because everybody's going to say, no it's not. Anyway, I want to talk about something. I keep getting the same kind of rhetoric a lot with my, in the comments, and I always find it interesting, so I wanted to talk about it real quick. A lot of people say, oh, it's a waste of time to prep. Either your neighbors, or I gotta fix something real quick, hold on. Okay. Either your neighbors or the government or somebody's gonna come and take all your stuff. You're wasting your time. You shouldn't bother doing it. They're gonna run you off. The golden horde, if you will, is gonna come and they're gonna run you off. Because I put myself out on YouTube, I'm a target. That there's people that are going to come and take my stuff because I put myself out on YouTube. Well, there's a lot of people out there, guys, preppers, that put themselves out there on YouTube, And I know talk is cheap and people can say whatever they want to say, but now, here's the thing. Do I believe that I'm probably on a list someplace with the government? Sure, I probably do. I would imagine that they would want to keep track and see what you're doing. Once they realize that I'm like zero threat to the government, I don't think that they're going to bother with me, to be honest with you, right, at this time, because I'm not a threat. I'm just trying to be as independent as I possibly can, be happy, live free, and try to be as ready as I possibly can for whatever's coming. When an event does happen, guys, okay, and I'm just going to run it down in my own thoughts, and you guys can agree or disagree, and you can have, we'll have the discussion in the comments, which is fine, and I definitely want your input, and I want your feedback, all right? Depending on what the event is, and we're just going to go with one of the scenarios that could possibly happen. Let's say an EMP. Let's say an EMP happens, okay? And first of all, the government won't be coming if it's an EMP, because they're going to have their freaking hands full. I mean, they're going to have their hands really, really full just trying to contain the cities, to be honest with you. The chaos of what would be going on would be absolutely insane. So I don't see people going, you know what, okay, our number one target, we're going to go out there to Prepper Nurse 1's place and take his supplies. Believe me, the government has plenty of supplies in hand for the power elite. They're not worried about what little bit I have here, okay? So, as far as roving groups of people that their plan is to, they know where preppers are. Because here's the thing is, anybody can be found. It's really easy to be found. So, they're just gonna come and they're gonna attack me and take my stuff. Well, that's easier said than done. I mean, talk is way cheap. Actions speak louder than words. First of all, you'd have to get here. You'd have to get down to where I am, and that's number one. And then you got to try to take what I have, number two. And I'm not talking tough guy stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But people act like you're just going to lay down and let somebody come rolling in here and just take whatever you have. Or I get what I love is when people will say, oh, well, a sniper could just come up and put all kinds of holes in your building. Well, first of all, the sniper's got to get here, number one. They got to have that target in mind. They got to know exactly, they would need to have that game plan ahead of time. The chaos that would be going on in an EMP event, guys, would be just insanity. It would be complete and utter insanity. So, yeah, I really, like I said, I don't see people going, okay, now it's the time. Now we got to walk 120 miles. We're going to go and, we're going to take out Prepper Nurse 1. They're going to be more worried about trying to survive, to be honest with you. Most people are going to be more focused on trying to survive as opposed to trying to take me out. Okay? I find a lot of the stuff, like people, well, why bother? All your stuff is going to just get taken and, this and that anyway. Well, the reason that you bother is because, and I think a lot of those are from people that, when people say something like that, because to me that's woefully ignorant to say something like that. The reason that they say things like that is because they're afraid to do anything themselves and they've done nothing. So they're trying to justify it in their own minds of why they haven't done anything. So they make excuses of, well, you know, even though he's done all this and that, it's not going to do any good because of this or that or the other thing. Okay? I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to take my chances. You know, I honestly believe that I think I got a pretty legitimate shot. You know, I know people, you know, out there are certain people that don't like me, and that's fine. And, you know, I find it funny. This is what I find more funny than anything else. And I'm just going to bring this topic up real quick. And I don't, you know, usually want to talk a lot about religion, okay? But I find it ironic that because I'm not a Christian, because I don't believe, you know, then I'm a horrible person. You know, in some people's eyes, not everybody. You know, I mean, I know I have a lot of people that follow me, and I have a lot of people that follow me that are Christian, which I respect that, okay? I have no problem with anybody's religious views. I respect everybody's choice to do whatever they want to do, but at the same time, you need to respect my choice to do what I want to do. That's the biggest thing for me. Because I can't stand when somebody says, you have to do this or this is going to happen. Or I love the fact that people will say, you know, well, you don't have to worry about prepping for food and water and stuff like that because God will take care of you. Well, that's a freaking fantasy, guys. I'm sorry, you know. That is so unrealistic. It's unbelievable, you know, as far as that goes. So, you know, my thing is like this. And you know, like I said, I don't belittle anybody's beliefs, but I find it so funny that so many people that are supposedly Christian are probably some of the most judgmental people when it comes to somebody that doesn't believe what they believe, okay? I find that ironic myself. Like I said, I'm a huge live and let live kind of guy. You want to do what you want to do, that's great. Have a good time at it, you know. But, you know, too many people all of a sudden, you know, they're an expert on this, that, or the other thing, and they've done absolutely nothing to prepare for themselves or their families. But, you know, I'm the stupid one. Well, that's okay. We'll see what happens with that. But I find it very, very funny. And it's not like, this is not about trolls. I'm not doing this video about trolls. It's not about trolls. It's people making comments, and I think a lot of the comments are out of ignorance because they don't realize, or out of the fact of their, like I said, their own fear, because they've done absolutely nothing to prepare, and they want to justify in their own mind why it's okay that they don't prepare. Like I said, like the government's coming in with drones, and they're going to drop a bomb and a smart bomb on me. Why? What threat am I to the government? I'm not a threat to the government. You know, I just want to live my life. When something happens, I want to try to survive like everybody else. And I believe that if you give yourself any kind of advantage to survive, that is a smart thing to do. So, how is that stupid in any kind of way, shape, or form? You know, to provide for your family, to take care of your children, to take care of your loved ones, how is that stupid or crazy? And the best part, guys, here's the best part of all this, of the whole scenario, okay? The best part of this whole scenario is, let's say nothing ever happens, okay? And people have said to me, well, you'll be disappointed, wouldn't you, if nothing ever happens? No, not at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I have peace of mind out here. My expenses are very minimal. You know, I don't have huge bills anymore. I mean, I got rid of the IRS this year. I got rid of, you know, the building payment this year. You know, so those were, you know, a couple of larger expenses that I had that had to be taken care of. You know, and they're now done. So that's, I don't have to pay for the building again. You know what I mean? So it's already paid for. So I pay my taxes. My land's already paid for. So as long as I pay my taxes, I'm good to go. I'm going to continue to work on things here, be as self-sustaining as possible, okay? And, you know, it's peace of mind. It's like, as I get older, you know, and, you know, I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I got to bring in so much money. Because you ask a lot of these people, and I'm going to tell you what, the number of people that I see on Social Security that are still working at 65, 70, 75 years old in these different little places like, you know, like Walmart or, you know, or Wegmans or whatever. I mean, to me, that's so sad. It is so, so sad because they cannot afford to live, okay? Because we were sold this false bill of goods that we're supposed to live a certain way, and they can't live that way anymore because they don't have the income. They can't keep, you know, working that high-end job anymore. So now they got to go, and they're retired, so they're getting their retirement, but it's not enough to survive. So they got to go work part-time at like Walmart and stuff like that and be humiliated by scumbags. You know, and not all people are treating these people badly, don't get me wrong. But, you know, you're going to have people that are not going to be so nice. You know, I mean, when you deal with retail, if anybody that knows out there that's worked retail knows there's some not very nice people out there. And, you know, but there's no respect either. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to go over these different things because I find it funny when I read that, you know, that this is going to happen and that's going to happen, so you're wasting your time. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, like I said, guys, I'm going to tell you what, I like my chances way better than somebody that's done absolutely nothing and is living in suburbia and sitting on their behinds doing absolutely nothing. I will take my chances every day of the week of what I'm doing over what they're doing, and we'll see who survives. You know, if there is an emergency, what happens out here, I don't have to rely on anybody else. We rely on ourselves. You know, when there's power outages out here, it doesn't affect us because we have our own solar system, and we have, you know, we have the backup generator. So, you know, all those things, to me, it's a smart thing to do. Even if I wasn't prepping for whatever's going to happen, just doing what we're doing, if I knew nothing was ever going to happen, I would still be doing the same thing, just because it makes me more self-reliant and less reliant on the government or the powers that be, or the power company, or any of those type of things. That's, to me, it makes more sense. So does it make sense to continue to do this type of thing, or am I wasting my time? To me, it makes way more sense. My life is better, I have less stress in my life, and all those type of things. So anyhow, before I forget, I want to mention again, I mentioned it in yesterday's video, Legacy is doing a sale on their meat products right now. If you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, the prices have already been reduced. So the prices you see on there for the meat products are the reduced prices. So, you know, if you're interested, now is the time to do it. The sale is only going on till the 20th, and that's at midnight on the 20th. So today's the 16th. So you got a couple of days if you're interested in doing that. Okay, guys? Well, anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. It's a real warm day here today. We've actually done pretty well solar-wise already. I think we're at 4.7 already. And we had a decent day yesterday, too. So, but anyway, guys, remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there, guys, is yourself, realistically. Nobody else can do it. And, you know, I just wish everybody really good luck. You know, whatever your game plan is, I hope things work out for you. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.